All right, we're going to go ahead and solve or do section 2.6. This is solving radical equations. Okay, so as you can see, each of these equations have some sort of square root, cube root. I think some of them might even get up into the fourth root in the homework. Okay, in order to get rid of a square root, let me make sure my annotate thing here's on. Okay, move that down. Okay, so if I have, let's say the square root of x is equal to 3. Okay, well, we know the answer is 9, right? Square root. So how do I get rid of the square root? I just square it. I'll square both sides, and so I get x is equal to 9. Okay, cube root, same thing. The cube root of x is equal, let's say 2. Okay, in order to get rid of a cube root, I have to cube it. Okay, so x would equal 8. Okay, so those are the basics on how you're going to do this. You need to make sure when you square root or square something or cube something, everything else has to be on the other side. Okay, so let's start with this. So the square root of x squared plus 8x is equal to the square root of 3x plus 24. Well, this square root is fine, and I'll just square both sides. Okay, the square cancels out the square roots, and I'm left with x squared plus 8x is equal to 3x plus 24. And now we're back to section 2.3, 2.4, solving for polynomials. Okay, so I need to get everything to one side. So x squared, I'm going to minus my 3x. So 8x minus 3x is 5x. Minus 24, I'm going to move it over, is equal to 0. Factor. Two numbers that multiply up to negative 24 add up to 5. There's going to be positive 8 and negative 3. And then go ahead and solve it. X is equal to negative 8. X is equal to 3. Similar thing on this. You need to go back and check your answers, especially when we're doing with square roots and squares. Sometimes the negative will get canceled out. And with that being said, then you might get in trouble with some of these negative answers. But you go ahead and plug this back in. So negative 8 squared is 64 plus 8 times negative 8, which is negative 64. So that's 0. Square root of 0 is 0. Plug it in on this side. 3 times negative 8, it's negative 24. Negative 24 plus 24 is 0. Square root of 0. So this one works out. Same thing with 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 plus 8 times 3, which is 24. So that'd be the square root of 33 on the left. On the right, 3 times 3 is 9 plus 24. That'd be the square root of 33 on the right. So both of them are good. So my answers on this one are negative 8, 3. Okay. So what I'm saying, everything has to be on one side. That would be like this one. Okay. I can't square it yet because I have this minus y. I need to move it over. Then I can square it. So let's go ahead and move that over. 144 minus y is equal to 12. And since it's minus, I'm going to add it, 12 plus y. Now I can square both sides. Square, square. Okay. So on the left, it's 144 minus y. On the right, remember, this is not just y squared and 12 squared. I have to do 12 plus y times 12 plus y. And then FOIL that. Okay. I'm going to write in order. So this would be y squared. 12y, another 12y would be 24y. And then 12 times 12 is 144. Simplify that out. So I'm going to set it equal to 0. To do that, I need to minus 144, which we'll cross those off. And I need to add y. So I'm left with y squared plus 25y. And that goes away. So solve that. I can pull out a y plus 25. And so I get two answers. Y is equal to 0. That's y is equal to 0. And y is equal to negative 25. Okay, so I need to check them. I need to check whether they work. So if I plug 0 in, 144 minus 0 is 144. The square root of 144 is 12. And then 12 minus 0 is 12. So that one works. y is equal to 0 works. If I plug in negative 25, and I'm going to show you on this one. Okay, so the square root of 144 minus negative 25 would be plus 25. Minus a negative 25 would be another plus 25 is equal to 12. That would be 169. Square root of 169 is 13. Plus 25, does that equal 12? No. Okay, so this one does not work, and your answer is just y is equal to 0. Okay, so that's why it's important to check there at the end. Okay. Okay. So the next ones. So the next one I have cube, or the cube root. Well, in order to get rid of cube root, I just cube both sides. So I'm left with 7z squared plus 12z is equal to 64. I move the 64 over, so I'm left with 7z squared plus 12z minus 64 is equal to 0. Then I can solve by using the quadratic formula. I'm going to try to factor it, and I'm going to use that slide method. So I'm going to take this 7 and slide it down. So remember, I multiplied by 7. That means at the end, I'm going to have to divide. So make sure I divide down here somewhere. Okay. So I would be left with z squared plus 12z minus 448. Let's see. Yeah. Equal to 0. And now what two numbers multiply up to 448 and add up to 12? Okay, you might have to guess and check that a little bit. Okay, the answers are going to be 28, so plus 28 and minus 16. Now, remember, I multiplied by 7, so I have to divide by 7. That's the sliding method. Okay, so I just slid the multiply by 7 to the end. And if it works out, you leave it, z plus 4. And if it doesn't, 16 divided by z doesn't work out, I move the 7 up. I have to, so that'd be 7z minus 16. So I get two answers. First one, z plus 4 is equal to 0. And that'd be z is equal to negative 4. And the second one, add 16, divide by 7, z is equal to 16 sevenths. Okay. Now you should check these. You should plug them back in. Okay. And I'm going to tell you though, usually when you cube something, it won't change the sign. Only square will turn something from negative to a positive. So usually you're probably all right on all the cube ones. And when you do plug those back in, and I've done that, they work out. So usually on the cube ones, you don't really have to do that, but it's probably good to get in the habit. Square root ones, yes, you need to do it all the time. All right, next one. Again, it's square root, so I want to square things, but I can't because of this plus 3. So I'm going to go ahead and minus that. 3x plus 15 is equal to x minus 3, so that'd be x minus 1. I'm going to square it. So I'm left with 3x plus 15 is equal to, again, this isn't x squared, 1 squared. You have to do the foiling of x minus 1, x minus 1. So that would be x squared. That'd be negative 1x. Here would be another negative 1x. So it's minus 2x. And then negative 1 times negative 1 is plus 1. Move everything over. I'm going to do that by minusing 15 and minus 3x. So I get 0 equal to x squared minus 5x minus 14. Factor that. X x. Let's see, -7 and +2. So my two answers are x is equal to 7 and x is equal to -2. What do I need to do then? I need to plug them back in and check them out. Okay, and when I do that, I know I moved it a little bit, makes it hard to see, but -2, like if I plug -2 in, 3 times -2 is -6, plus 15 is 9, square root of 9 is 3, and 3 plus 3 is 6. And then on the right side, -2 plus 2 is 0. Okay, so the -2 does not work out. The 7 will. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 15 is 36. Square root of 36 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. And then on the right side, 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay, so again, my answer is x equals 7. So the square root, usually we'll have to cancel out 1. Cube root, you probably don't. Okay. All right, here we go. Cube both sides is a cube root. So I'm left with 7y squared plus 10y is equal to 5 cubed, which is 125. Move it over, set it equal to 0. 7y squared plus 10y minus 125 is equal to 0. I'm gonna use the slide method again. Take 7, slide it over. Again, so I multiplied by 7. At the end, make sure I need to divide by 7 at the end down here. Okay. So when I slid it, it became y squared plus 10y minus 875. Okay, so let's see. Y, two numbers that multiply up to 875 add up to 10. So I know probably has to end in a 5. Let's see, 10 apart. 35 and 25. 35 times 25 is 875. 35 plus -25 is 10. Okay, set that equal to 0, but I'm not done. Remember, I multiplied by 7, so I have to divide by 7. If it works out, leave it. That one does, y plus 5. If it doesn't, 25 divided by 7, you move it to the top, 7y minus 25. So my two answers are y is equal to -5, and then y is equal to add 25, divide by 7, 25 sevenths. Again, this is a cube root one, so it won't change the signs. Those are your answers. All right, last one. Okay, last one's cube rooted still. Okay, but they're both on the same side, so you need to move it over. So if this is minus, I need to add it. And so I have the cube root of 15 minus 7z is going to be equal to the cube root of 8z plus 9. And since they're both under cube roots, you can cube both of them, and they're going to both cross off. So I'm left with 15 minus 7z is equal to 8z plus 9. Okay, this one's a little bit simpler. Move the 9 over. I'm going to minus my 9. I'm going to add my 7z to the right side. So I'm left with 6 is equal to 15z. Divide by 15. 6/15. And there you go. There's solving radical equations. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Yeah.